cut me too deep. I think I'm dying here, man.
Through the haunted mansions and floors that creak, they lead us to the places from which we dare not peek. A journey through fear and the realm of the night. In every word they speak, our hearts ignite with fright. Welcome to the horror show, the Deep Cut Podcast, where nightmares come alive, ready to take their blow. Tune in to the chilling delight on the airwaves of the night. Let the darkness grow. Let the darkness grow.
Aw, yeah, it's that time again for another bi-weekly podcast with your hosts, Rotten Roger DeMarco and
Evil Dead Inks and Raj, have you come to offer yourself in sacrifice?
I know what a tectonic plate is, or something like that.
Yeah, dirt.
Dirt farmers.
Dirt farmers, and no, we're not talking the dirt people from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Leatherface, the second one. It is Ghostbusters and the Paul Rudd Adventures of Afterlife.
Paul Rudd and the Dirt Farmers?
Yeah, Paul Rudd and the Dirt Farmers.
There it is.
That was the working title. Now it's still getting a lot of people showing up.
The Lifetime original.
Yeah. Paul Rudd and them Dirt Farmers.
I'll tell you what, man. If you had told me in 1995, when it was introducing Paul Rudd in Halloween 6, that, 30 plus years later, I'd be getting Ghostbusters featuring Paul Rudd, I'd have told you you're fucking crazy. But he is definitely a welcome addition to the Ghostbusters universe, I suppose.
Isn't he part of that crew that if you were fantasy booking this years before Afterlife came out, you're like Paul Rudd, Jonah Hill, Seth Rogen, and some other dude.
McLovin.
No.
It probably would have been Bill Hader. It would have been Bill Hader for sure.
Oh yeah, Bill Hader would have been pretty good. Yeah, so swap out one of the other guys there for that. That'd have been great.
Can we just have Matt Stone, Trey Parker, Bill Hader, and
I feel that
Paul Rudd.
That Ghostbusters is on shaky ground with those two guys, but I thought Paul Rudd was a layup for. I mean, he's for any franchise, but he fits in like a custom fit glove into this world.
So that's the weird thing about Paul Rudd that we talked about when we talked about Halloween Kills, when I said I would have much rather seen Paul Rudd come back as Tommy Doyle. Like, he's like that interchangeable part that it just works. You can just reach into your tackle box, grab it, and throw it in, and for some reason, it works because he's so likable. He never plays someone where I'm like, just shut up, or I hate you, or you're so obnoxious. You know what I mean? He's just feels like you could meet him and become fast buddies with him.
Yeah, and if you're looking at what he's doing in this movie, for part of it, the adult side of you can be like, this dude's a horrible teacher. This would be newsworthy shit because he's like not a gym teacher. He's like a geologist.
Yeah, physics and shit.
But he's doing sub work where he's just showing horror movies, which initially you're like he does Cujo, and you're like, that's borderline. And then later he's doing
there's a bunch of adultery in that movie. Like it's got a heavy subplot other than the dog.
Yeah, but I feel like, I don't know, I feel like he could bullshit his way out of explaining the Cujo being on the TV, but later on they're showing Child's Play, and it's like there's no way he can explain his way out of that one. Like, you just need the teacher coming in right when Chucky's like, you fucking crazy ass bitch.
First, he's teaching the children about the effects of rabies. Secondly, he's teaching the kids about Haitian voodoo rituals.
Voodoo, yeah, that's what comes up next.
Voodoo. match.
And if that's hard enough to be like, how does this guy still have his job? The other thing the bigger thing to me that is just blown over it's completely undersold by everybody is that ghosts were and still are a thing.
Yeah, no one is like constantly talking about it.
They're not talking about it, and nobody is selling what they're actually seeing. Like, there is an Egon possessed lamp in this movie, and people are treating it like it's a goddamn dog in the house. Like,
yeah, let's just play some chess with it, you know.
It's shining lights into specific things, like it's like the lamp from Evil Dead 2. But it's just showing things around, and people are just like, "Oh, you trying to show me? Oh, that's what you're trying to show me." And I'm like, Jesus fucking Christ, the lamp is moving. Unplugging
the lamp is like, just beat it. Kill it. We're gonna kill it.
Yeah, my impulse would be to grab a wooden chair and start swinging it at this lamp.
Rushing it.
Gotta get it the fuck out the house.
Yeah. First of all, check and make sure that it's not plugged in.
It doesn't matter. It does not matter if it's plugged in or not. If it is,
well, maybe it's oscillating. I don't know.
No.
They don't make oscillating desk lamps.
There's no such thing.
Weird as fuck.
There's no such. It defeats the whole purpose. Oscillating means you're moving around the house. You're sitting in one spot. If you're at the desk, you don't need it oscillating. I don't give a fuck about cooling people off behind me.
Every 30 seconds, I need to see what's over there.
Cool off Fred. He's about 3 desks behind me. He doesn't. Oh, there it goes. There it goes.
It'd be blinding him. It wouldn't be cooling him because it would just be a light.
Oh, and oscillate. So it's a searchlight.
Yeah. Goddamn lighthouse.
That's a Stephen Wright joke. He's like, I got a night light in my house, but it's a searchlight. So if I gotta go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, I gotta time it just right so I don't get caught.
That's perfect.
But aside from the lamp, yeah, nobody remembers this as a story from 30 years previously. They got to, I love it. They got to go to YouTube to be like, but they kind of present it in that way slightly for half the conversation. We're like, yeah, they went up top of this building and the building blew up. You know, we don't know exactly what happened, but they said this and that. But then he undercuts it like, yeah, there was a 100-foot marshmallow man just walking around town. It's like, how is that not still something like you recognize yearly?
Yeah, because I think podcast brings it up. At one point, the younger kid is like, "There was a 100-foot marshmallow man."
Oh yeah,
or something like that, and you're like,
podcast
again.
Podcast is like the NPC in a video game that's going to explain the entire story to you in passage.
It's true.
Like, oh yeah, I know the history of this entire town. I'm going to explain it to you on this long dirt road we're going to travel down because no buses or anything, and it's a 12-mile bike ride from school to home. In the middle of, what is it, Oklahoma? I think it's Oklahoma is where we're at.
They drive past Mikey's house.
Yeah. Right outside Albuquerque. Yeah, this is our first not New York-based Ghostbusters movie. They go back there just in flashes and phone calls.
Utah. It's Utah, dude, right?
I don't know. I feel like it's Oklahoma.
Like it's Utah. Motherfucker. It's been, so full disclosure for anyone listening, 2 weeks ago, we watched this to prep for this, and then things kept getting in our way to stop us from recording. So not exactly fresh in our minds with certain details.
It's just in a small country town. It feels like one of those small towns that just stopped developing after the 1950s.
Yeah,
they're like,
kind of looks like an old west town. Like it's got like one street of businesses.
Kind of, but when they got, it's got like, I feel like it would have the drive-in, but the movie theater that's still advertising that it has air conditioning inside.
Yeah,
like it's a luxury. Like, now with AC this summer, come watch cool movies, watch the hot cinema on the cool screens.
Probably, it's definitely the town that time forgot.
Indeed. And speaking of people you completely forget about, I forget. I like that. I don't. What's his name? Like Bokeem Woodbine.
Yes.
The sheriff of the town, which I just always think of as Crunch from The Big Hit. The guy that gives up women just to masturbate for the rest of his life and be very happy with that. That dude, that dude's the law of the town. Arrests the kids when they magically get this beat to shit, Ecto-1 running again. Which, if that thing's even been sitting for 20 years, like as soon as the kid starts driving it, those tires are just disintegrating.
Yeah.
into nothingness. But they arrest the kids, put them in jail, and they lock up the equipment in a separate little cell safe area. And then Bokeem Woodbine just fucks off the whole rest of the movie. We never see him again.
I know. I feel like there's got to be some stuff on the cutting room floor with him. He's too good of a character actor to bring in and then be like, that was good. Like a half a day worth of work.
Well, my week is done. I'll see you guys later.
Yep. Peace. Call me back for the sequel. I'll be like the cowboy hat sheriff and the Blumhouse Halloween. Just come poke my fucking head in every once in a while.
That dude, I feel, did more than Bokeem did in this movie.
He did. He did more in Halloween Ends than Bokeem did in this movie.
Yeah, combined. But this is the story. This is after Harold Ramis has passed, so we have a dude, in like 3/4 shot of the face, portraying Harold Ramis dying in the opening of this movie. He's taken all the ghost busting equipment and set up shop in this, old 50s town, because somehow this is where the Gozer origins this is where it takes place. So he set up like proton pack like alarm clocks to keep this energy source from taking over, which has just caused the place to have perpetual earthquakes every so often now, which everyone just chalks up to science, but it's really Egon out there making a giant trap, because we're in that requel rebooting whatever the hell it is thing where we're like the legacy sequel. We'll bring the guys back, we'll bring the original villains back, and then we'll try to build off that.
Yeah, I will say it's nice to air quotes for the people who can't see me. It's nice to see him in the opener of the movie, but it feels a little like Ghostbusters Afterthought. You know what I mean? Like, like, I don't know. It feels weird having him, like, the whole premise of the building all the traps and all of that stuff. I don't know if that's like first draft, third draft, where that came from, because that obviously becomes the central plot of the movie, but I don't know why we had to show him die and use like a, you know what I mean? I would prefer to have had a different opener and come to that conclusion via notes or via the weird ghost lamp or whatever, whatever it may be. But yeah, I don't have a big problem with it. I just feel like,
I was fine with it. It was acceptable to me, because we gotta, how did we get here, and explaining how we don't have this guy in the crew anymore. But we don't really have the other crew either. We have Ray on the phone, still working the occult store. So that's the only acknowledgement they're ever gonna make that there was a sequel, because Ray's occult books is still a gig. But we don't see the rest of the crew until the very end battle. They just show up all together, which that could have been its own movie right there, because we're not really told exactly what Bill Murray's character is doing, that he decides to come back and join the crew. And we don't really know a great deal about Zedmore, what he did. He just apparently just invested his money really well, and now he's a billionaire in New York City. So
he's loaded, son.
Yeah, so he buys the firehouse back, and I like how it's somehow like it's like they do references to the Ecto-1 being his car, which he has a driving scene in the first movie sure, but I feel like if
Yeah.
anyone's laying claim to that being their baby, that should be Ray, right?
Oh, yeah. It would be Ray.
Because he's the one that bought it. He's the one that was working on it. He's the car guy in real life anyway. Like, it should be Ray that's like, my baby, what have they done to you? Oh, they massacred my boy.
Godfather reference, deep cut. Yeah, it definitely is Ray's car. But I know we've talked about this multiple times, how I feel like this movie should have gone. And I even feel this way for the female Ghostbusters, because it's an interchangeable plot, and it works. And I think they did it for the Ghostbusters video game, right? Is where you have the old Ghostbusters, but they're realizing, hey man, we're getting old, we can't do this forever, we gotta hire some young blood. So then you bring in some young blood. The OG Ghostbusters teach them the ropes, and like the OG Ghostbusters kind of get their asses handed to them, you know, because they can't hang. I think that was my original, is like the Ghostbusters all get the call that Egon has passed away. They go to his funeral and they're gonna bury him with a proton pack. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna put his uniform and proton pack there.
Oh, I get that.
And
I'm
then,
just immediately thinking of the side quest of like New Beginning, where it's like we gotta open up this casket, get a look at the main man, and steal that proton pack so we can start robbing people with it.
yeah, start cutting steel girders in half. But I feel like that would have been awesome. Is they go to this funeral and they're like essentially the only people there with a priest, and they're gonna put this proton pack on top with his jumper and lower the casket down, and then ghosts, like a ghost starts haunting, like attacking. So they use the proton pack between the three of them, like trying to get the trap and the proton pack, and this one like measly ghost kind of like beats their ass, but they still trap it. And that leads them to be like, we need to hire some young guns.
We're too old for this shit.
Yeah, exactly. It gives you your Danny Glover moment, but this is fine.
In my head, I'm just picturing like, oh, we gotta capture a ghost. And Bill Murray jumps down into the 6-foot pit and like cracks open the casket and rips the proton pack off a decaying Harold Ramis.
Yeah, the arms break off. Like,
like this isn't disrespectful at all to the memory of. That's where you put up the in memory of Harold Ramis.
Trampling on his glasses, yeah.
Yeah, his feet are going through his body, and his arms and heads are separating from the shoulder straps of the proton pack.
Oh, Lord. Yeah. But this is kind of, I know that a lot of people have made this reference. This is, Stranger Things meets Ghostbusters, because we have our Finn Wolfhard in this movie, and he even dressed up like a Ghostbuster in the Stranger Things. But it's like the right climate. It's like a perfect storm for us to get this movie. Everybody in the world, every teenage girl loved Finn Wolfhard. I'm pretty sure they all still do. Whatever, because he's a young heartthrob. But like, it hit perfectly because we got our Paul Rudd, who's like our generation's funny guy, and then we got the OG Ghostbusters come back, and then we get to usher in kids for the kids. So
he's this generation's Tom Hanks, but never went and did serious roles. He just kept being a cool, funny guy.
Yeah, not yet. He hasn't done a serious role yet. He'll hit his Adam Sandler stride at some point and do his own Punch Drunk Love, I'm sure.
I feel he's had to have done something. I need to look through his IMDb list and see what's there. I'm sure he's done something semi-serious. I think This Is 40 is that's pretty good. It's comedy, but I was like, that's where he's treading in that kind of those kinds of grounds. But
I Love You, Man. That's also funny, but still.
I never saw it, but I do like we get something that's straight up. We've had the Ghostbusters original, the sequel. We've had the ladies reboot. This is the Ghostbusters kids movie, because the kids are the ones that are pretty much your main focus for the entire film. And they do something straight up from the cartoon. Is anyone who was a fan of this that's around our age had some of the toys, and everybody wanted the Ecto-1, which had the ejector seat that shot out the side, which they install in the Ecto-1 in this movie, which I would have loved to have seen. Who do you think of the original Ghostbusters was sitting in that fucking chair when they had that shit initially? Because probably that's something Ray or Egon installed. So who's sitting in
Yeah.
that chair? Because it has to be probably Zedmore, and they don't tell him. It's like just strap in here and here. They're like, all right, you're gonna catch it. What do you mean I'm gonna catch it? Because press a button and he shoots out the side.
I feel like they'd make Ray do it because the whole somebody's got to go down there. Somebody's got to go down there. Like,
they can bully him into it.
Yeah, switch me on. They make him do everything.
Bill Murray's just slapping him in the face, but you get your fat ass on that fucking seat. You're gonna ejecto out the side of this thing. You're gonna be shooting this thing. Like get your ass in the seat, Ray.
You're gonna drive by the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man at 100 miles an hour, and you're gonna cut his foot off at the ankle.
Yeah, he's got that saw blade from New Blood. He's just sheave a little bit off the side of his leg. They'll collapse easily.
Yep. Off kilter, just.
Yeah, it's like when your leg's asleep and you're trying to walk. Like he just can't maintain balance and it'll collapse. Nothing can go wrong there. But something I also have brought up every movie that it keeps finding a way to one up itself to a degree. We had in the initial Ghostbusters them almost kill a maid with the proton pack. The reboot, the lady reboot, they unleash proton packs in a full packed concert venue. Mm-hmm. This is, I feel, the closest they've came to I am amazed, shocked, and just dismayed that there is not at least 3 people with severed limbs on this town when we do the ejector seat trying to capture the muncher going down the street, because our main kid is just blasting this proton pack and hitting everything.
Yeah, literally destroying the entire town.
Yeah, this town should, if it's clinging to life to maintain, this is the death nail for this town, is this kid just destroying shit with the proton pack, but doesn't hurt anybody, doesn't kill anybody, which I don't know how. There should be like the guy running like the meat department just walking outside. 4 banana cream pies. Severed at the forearms by the proton pack.
The whole movie should end with the town lynching them and killing them, because now the mayor has to announce that the property taxes and everything has to go up to pay for all the fixing.
Yeah.
Well, you can thank that little girl and her brother.
The dirt farmers' kids. They're the ones that ruined the neon sign in town. That'll take $3 million to repair that. String them up.
Them the ones that done did that. It's just because they already don't like the dirt farmer, so it's not
all they need
out
is
of the realm of possibility to push them over the limit.
And to be the outcast weird person in this town, you really got to be doing something. So yeah, when this kid is leveling the town with this proton pack, I don't know how the pitchforks and torches are not out immediately to burn down the dirt farmer's residence. I mean, he has
the end of Frankenstein. Yeah,
he has trash on the road to his house that says the end is near in spray paint.
Which, to be fair, I feel like Egon might have put a little bit more effort into those signs. You know what I mean? I mean, he's fucking Egon. Right? He's going to be out there spray painting on corrugated rusty metal.
Why is he doing it? Who is he telling that? Who's going to read that and take that seriously?
I don't know.
I see that shit in professionally made billboards driving, through certain parts of the country, and I was like, yeah, for various churches with several $1 trillion behind them. I'm like, yeah, telling me the end is near, I'm going to hell. And I'm like, all right, I need gas.
How come what, Chief Willoughby? 3 billboards outside of Ebbing, Missouri reference deep cut.
This is a fun movie. It feels a little 2016 because both times for review, I'm like, about throwing it in the player. But by the end of it, I'm like, I feel like Rick Moranis in 2 where he's like, I did it. I'm a Ghostbuster. I'm fully on board by the time the movie is done. But this suffers from the same fate 2016 does. It was like, getting it started, I'm just not motivated to, because truth be told, this is definitely not a Baby Driver movie break ruler. This is probably maybe the third time I've watched it since I picked it up, and I've had no issues with it. Like, it's still like it's a good heart wrencher. Heaven help you! Spoiler alert! Trigger warning! You have lost a parent or close friend. Just bypass the end of this movie because it's heavy duty. It's heavy duty, Doc.
It's a stiff drink. Well, as far as the rewatchability and whatnot, I know that we have a handful of listeners that really, really dig this movie, and it's kind of like a family movie for them. Sidebar to that, I saw this in theaters and still, to this day, have not purchased it. So I had to use your digital library to watch it. And it's not, like you said, there's nothing wrong with it. And I was pretty hyped when I walked out of the theater. Like you said, when you get done, you're like, yeah, it is good, you know? But then it's that initial rewatch. So, like, when I walked out of the theater, I was like, oh, that's a day one buy for sure. For sure, that was awesome. And then it came out on Blu-ray, and I saw it at the store, and I went, not today. I only have like $28 on me, you know? And it was a $24 Blu-ray, and I'm like,
next time.
Next week. And then that just became nope, and I still don't have it.
And
so
after so many weeks, then you can't buy it in person anywhere anymore because digital media is few and far in between finding stuff. So if it's not brand new week of, you might as well just, I got to resort to Amazon for my purchase because it's just not out there anymore.
Yep. So still haven't officially purchased it, and I would say that was probably my third time watching the movie. So again, it's fine. It's fun, and it has its place. And we're probably going to get a couple more. You know, we got the Frozen Empire, which at the time of recording this, I've seen it in theaters, but Evil still hasn't seen it. So we probably will be having to come back to Ghostbusters down the road.
We're just accumulating till we get to a month where we have all the catch-ups to do, because we'll add Frozen Empire and Evil Dead Rise, because those are both former franchises that have had new entries that we haven't gotten to. Yeah, as of right now, recording, it's long out of the theaters and not even available to purchase anywhere yet. So it's going to be backburnered for for catch-up month. We need probably two more movies, and then we have a month of catch-ups. We can add to the franchises we have taken down.
Indeed. So let me ask you this, because we talked about with the 2016, the lady version. How do you feel about the ghosts in this movie?
On par with, I mean, they're it's like a step or two difference between, like, they're not as silly as 2016, but they're not far from it. Mm-hmm. I definitely think they did a whole, like, Minions style, like, advertising campaign with the mini Stay Puft guys, which they'll never be able to get rid of those now. They'll never be threatening either. But
no.
The Muncher, I was like, this looks goofy, but I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, he's like discount Slimer.
Yeah, we get the return of Gozer, which looks all right. I know we were rewatching, the wife's like, so the original Gozer, she's dead, right? And I'm like, I don't know. I've not kept up on original Gozer.
Well, she's a demon, so
yeah. So I think she looked at him and was like, oh no, she's still alive. She could have redone this. I was like, oh well, I'm disappointed they didn't do that, but they got somebody that's an equivalent kind of looking style. It's very 2021 updated. Like, doesn't look like she's got bubble wrap and shit on her like the original definitely did. She's got some like lightning, some like Ernest P. Worrell goes to jail, lightning going through her body from time to time. The Keymaster Gatekeeper thing is back. They look really good, particularly in. They really, I feel, capture like a single town's Walmart.
Oh my god, yeah.
Like, I really feel like, yep. Nothing transported me more than Paul Rudd just cruising through a all night open Walmart with nobody in it. Like, this is
Jamocha.
yeah, this is where you go for shit in the town. There's nowhere else. This is it. And man, did I just feel that here.
Yeah. I just love this stopping to get the ice cream, and it's got to be like midnight.
Yeah, I mean, you've that's it. He's replacing because he's not going to get none. He had his fun date and probably potentially had maybe some extracurricular activities, hopefully in mind. Didn't turn out that way, and he's not the guy that's going to be like, "Goddamn bullshit, motherfucker." He's just going to be like, "I'm going to go get me some ice cream."
Yeah, it's close. I mean,
it's on the way home. Yeah.
I just mean it's close to sex. It's good.
Oh,
ice cream is good.
I'll feel satisfaction of some sorts after I get done with this
Yeah.
entire bowl of ice cream. Yeah.
And then shame.
But it's Paul Rudd, so I don't know where those pounds ever go. Like the only weight I think the dude's gained in the past 30 years is in his beard.
Yeah, he's a fit fella. Faux show.
Yeah, doesn't age.
No, he's a vampire,
Yeah.
dude. 100%.
Just grow his hair, put some facial hair on him. That's the extent of the difference between here and the Curse of Michael Myers.
So you gave the warning for the ending,
Yeah.
but does that ending, does it satisfy? Does it stack up for you? Does it feel like a Ghostbusters final battle, like from the first movie, the second movie? Does it give you the warm tinglies? Does it hit all the criteria needed?
Yeah, it's fine. It's and nothing like they have a Ghost Ramus in our as completing the group one more time. We have all 4 Ghostbusters vanquishing, and he's long gone at this point, so he can't actually talk. So we just have him kind of shaking his head, nodding, and giving like the visual like ticks to show what he's trying to convey without any words.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was him and the daughter hugging. I was like, "Ooh, yeah, get in line, buddy." Everyone wants that last hug. But the one that fucking broke me is just his initial spot, because we have the granddaughter trying to control his fucking proton pack, which feels a little 2016. Like she needs some bracing behind her, because I feel like it's gonna.
Yeah, she's 80 pounds, if that.
Yeah, it's like Police Academy when what's her name shoots Tackleberry's gun. Damn, that was fun. Like, it's got quite a kick. Like, she has trouble controlling it, and we just see the ghost hand of Ramus is coming in and helping guide it. Like, it's a very much I don't know, you can sympathize. Like, it's a dad just helping the kid, just like, no, just like this, hold it, just like so. That's where I was like, oh god, I'm glad I didn't see this in a theater. I'd be fucking wrecked.
Oh, we were all crying.
Wrecked.
Crying.
Even if he was
screaming like banshees.
Even if the dude was still really alive, I would still be as wrecked. But the fact that he actually is gone, and then he kind of dissipates, and that was a nice, like, he dissipates into like stardust, not the Cody Rhodes wrestler, but stardust. And it's it goes into a 4 Herald kind of in memoriam.
Yeah.
And then we have several like callbacks and like those post-credit scenes of Zedmore taking the car back to New York. We get some stuff with Janine, some stuff with Bill Murray and Sigourney Weaver. So it's really laying groundwork for, like, if you got another one, cool. If we didn't, I'm good too.
Cool. Yeah. And to be honest with you, I mean, we're going to get to Frozen Empire, but I kind of wish they would have just stopped with this one. I'm not going to spoil anything, because you really need to see it so that we can have that conversation. But
I feel like it's going to be like the Fast and the Furious. We're just going to get a new Ghostbusters every year or two. It's just going to keep going now. Like, it's a franchise. I mean, because we saw in the last one, there's like a Ghost Corp, like, production company. Like, they have their own like film production company now. So there's proof right there. Like, so this is like Star Wars shit now. This will never end. It will just go on forever, for better or worse. It will just keep going.
yeah, And that's cool for the people who are really digging these 2 entries. And I mean, I'm a Ghostbuster at heart, obviously. Like we grew up with this, so
who isn't? Who's
gonna want it.
Who's the curmudgeon that's like, yeah, Ghostbusters? I don't like that
Yeah.
shit.
That sucks.
Who's this unhuman-like person?
I don't know. That is true. I don't think I've ever met a person who's like, Ghostbusters fucking sucks. It just doesn't happen. But there may be a point, if we continue down this road, where personally I have to check out and not watch them.
Oh yeah,
but
it run the risks of being like Marvel, where it's like,
yeah,
if you start including a television series and shit's tying from the series to different movies, and we're going different timelines or specific character like driven films like Solo and stuff like that, like that's where I'd probably like I have to reduce to casual spots as opposed to being dedicated following. I think it'll be a while before we get there, if we get there.
Yeah. So there's one spot in the finale that you spoke on what broke you, and I was already crying, so I can't say this broke me. But
twisted the knife like a scream gut wound.
Yeah.
Turn the blade.
Winston looks at Egon and says, I miss you, old pal, or something to the effect of that. Or we miss you, buddy. And he, like you said, he can't talk, so they give him that visual cue, that little nod, and that kind of like that.
Like, yeah, dog.
Yeah,
I feel
and you. That's real good, and especially on my rewatch, because I have, within the past 6 months, lost a very, very close friend that kind of, took the wind out of the sails. And I don't think I would, like, to be, like, honest, I don't know that I'll ever be the same again. And I know you know what I'm talking about. Like,
oh, yeah, and you won't.
You can maintain, but you're missing a piece of that puzzle. And so when he says that to him, I'm like, man, that's good. Like, rewatching it,
hits differently. It's stuff kids will watch and they might feel something for it, but that comes with age of having to going through your own personal tragedies, that you easily put yourself in that same role. So whatever you have gone through, you can feel this person's going through. And in some ways, it's I know the wife occasionally is like, why do you watch some shit like that you know is going to do that to you? I'm like, I don't know. It feels all right, I guess, still to feel that stuff.
Yeah.
Or to be able
Exactly.
to pull that up. But that entirely comes with becoming. That's how we become soft in our old age, is we just experience things like that. And
yeah,
I had to tell somebody years ago when they lost one of their parents. Dude I used to work with, he straight up asked me, he's like, does it get easier? And I impulsively looked at him, I was like, no, it doesn't.
No.
Like, it will still, I think even Cody Rhodes even said it, like, everyone else will move on. Part of you will always be the day of it happening, and you'll never get out of that spot. But a part of you, though.
Yeah.
You still, you have to, and hopefully, whenever your card is called and it's your turn to feel this kind of tragedy, you can overcome and get past. Because if we've done it, it should be a layup for anyone else out there to do it.
Yeah, anybody can do it.
I have zero. There's no hope for me, and if I can somehow keep going on, it should be a lot easier for everyone else. I'm horrible.
Yeah, we're difficult with our emotions, but
difficult and just a fucking crybaby.
Yeah.
40 is like I some people have given Kevin Smith a lot of shit because he had a few years where he was posting stuff of just shit that just made him cry. That was, if you look at it on the servers, like, man, this dude needs to get a hold of himself. But now that I'm there, I'm like, oh shit.
No, I get it. I totally get it.
I've lived long enough to become the villain.
Going back to what you were saying about, like, the reason you watch that is just to kind of see if you still feel. I literally have those, like, on all scopes, all spectrums. Like, I'll throw on I Spit on Your Grave like once a year to go, yeah, that really still fucking bothers me. You know, rape is disgusting. Like, I don't like that.
The
Or
Poughkeepsie
throw on Pet
tapes.
Cemetery. Do what?
The Poughkeepsie tapes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I still,
you know,
that line fucking broke me when you were visiting. You're like, you actually own a copy of the Poughkeepsie tapes? I was like, yeah, I do.
Yeah, it's pretty gnarly.
Spoiler, I've not rewatched that since I bought it blind.
I have yet to reach the day where I feel the need to rewatch a Serbian film, but
Because that's still a Patreon tier. We can't do that for free. I refuse to do that for free.
I don't ever want to do that, really. But yeah, like in a Pet Cemetery, like I'll throw Pet Cemetery on once a year and go, you know, it gets goofy, but there are aspects in it where you're like, fuck me, man, that really sucks. That hits you.
It stains you.
So I get it, man. But we went down a somber road for a half a.
I mean, this
minute
is called Afterlife. I feel like that's what this movie this whole movie is. That it's dealing with the loss of either a friend that you had more good times than bad times with, but maybe for some reason or whatsoever you took a different road than they did, and you didn't see eye to eye after a certain point. Which I feel that's touching on that with between Ramis and Murray not being on the same page. Where in the movie they portray it with Dan Aykroyd, which when they call up Raise a Cult, and he's like, Egon Spengler can burn in hell, because he was just pissed off at his character. And I mean, the whole movie, if it's not that, it's dealing with the kind of a scorned daughter who's like, he was not there for me as much as I thought he was. And then we get the unveiling that he was in his way as much as he could be there, and documenting things that occurred in her life. Like that, it's what, and Afterlife is in the goddamn title. So you should. Yeah. This is the death reflective episode of Ghostbusters and of the Deep Cut podcast.
On a lighter note, can we go back to little character podcast? I just want to. I mean, I talk about this all the time with 80s horror movies. How it's like, well, that guy's clearly the jock. You know, he's walking around with a football. Like, podcast is, to me, I'm like, so he gave himself the nickname Podcast. That'd be like if you ran and you gave yourself the nickname Shoes. Like, I just don't, I don't get it at all.
Oh, I thought you were gonna just ridicule someone for giving themselves their own nickname. I'm like,
well, yeah, that's also kind of.
I was like,
you can't do that.
Technically, we are doing that right now.
That's true. This isn't my real name.
Yeah, evil is not my real name. It's just a personality trait.
It's on your birth certificate.
Yeah. Which slight sidebar to all that, I have a name that is very common with a lot of people at my 9-to-5 job, and we have to use walkie-talkies a lot. So when someone is radioing to get me, they have to really get specific, because a lot of people could be answering the same way. So
tattooed, redhead, big beard.
I did my best sales pitch of like, can you just if you want to cut confusion down, just use my quote-unquote stage name of Evil. He's like, I can't say that over the walkie. Like, calling evil, but like, why the hell not? You know who's... You rang. You know only one person is going to respond to you, as opposed to going through the me, him, me. Do you want to avoid the Night at the Roxbury scenario? Get more specific. And you can't even use my, like, you can't do that shortcut bullshit of like using the first letter of my last name, like to get more specific, because that just sounds like a whole nother name, and it sounds too much like other people who have a similar starting first letter of their last name bullshit. DBC, what was that?
Oh Lord. Yeah,
I like
convince him to go.
I like podcast though. He's a trip.
Yeah, no, he's a fun character. I just always thought that it was funny that he would be called Podcast.
I mean, you really kind of are what you're into at that time, so I'm sure if I was going to this dirt school, they'd be like, wrestling guy. Oh, there's horror movie guy over there. Or clown guy, I guess would be more appropriate.
Clown boy, that was me, yeah.
Clown boy and wrestling guy.
Yep. God damn it. Clown boy. I'll never live that down, but that's okay.
Clown baby. Clown baby? You mean a baby that's a clown? No, a clown that...
Yes.
Always Sunny's fans will get a pop out of that.
I don't know that I have too much else. I mean, I was gonna bring up Walter Peck, but that's not.
Shh, that doesn't happen yet.
That's not yet.
He's not dead. Should have been you, Peck.
Yeah, you motherfucker.
Nope, this one's the kids version where Finn finds his love interest. They're both Ghostbusters. Spangler's daughter does end up falling for Paul Rudd's charms like everyone does.
Yeah, I want to marry Paul Rudd, so
who get in line? Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Everyone could be like, yeah, I could live with this guy.
He's from like our neck of the woods, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I thought. The chances of running into Paul Rudd and falling madly in love are slim, but
It's
not zero.
So you're telling me there's a chance? Yeah.
Dumb and Dumber reference, deep cut. Yeah, I suppose, Evil. On that note, since we've professed our love for Paul Rudd, the new Ghostbuster, what does that mean?
Well, we gotta find some way, shape, or form to get dark and dirty, so time for them Amazon 1-star reviews.
Hated it.
Grave Omega. I felt that's
Almost
just
choked.
how you say that. On January 13th, 2024, 1-star sucked hard.
Oof.
And I'm guessing this is the situation where that's a bad thing. This movie absolutely sucked. I'm sick and tired of being let down by movies today, and this is a prime example. I want my money back.
Give it. I want it, so you give it.
How are we going to give your money back if you don't specify what the hell you actually do want? That's not satisfying you. What do you want?
Like Ryan Gosling, what do you want?
Yeah, just ripping your hair. What do you want from me? Hence, that's why I heard a comedian say that's why guys go bald once they get married. Ripping their hair out, asking the spouse, "What do you want from me?"
I have no hair. I am married. It's tracking. It's tracking. I mean, you have hair.
I do have hair, but I was like, I quit trying to understand. So happier man because of it. I'm guessing this has to be him. This can't be anybody else. This has to be the celebrity himself. This is from the Dice Man.
Oh, hey!
On December 18th, 2022, 1-star couldn't get through it. Oh! Made the mistake of watching the original awesome version before trying to watch this. Love Paul Rudd. But this couldn't save this one. Usually I'll finish a movie because I paid for it. Not this time.
What's at the end, bitch?
I couldn't finish Afterlife. I was banned from MTV.
Oh, that's an old ass reference for anybody who's under 20 in our demographic. They'd be like, "Who the fuck are they?"
Who is Dice Man?
Andrew Dice Clay. Oh,
Which I still need to get you to pull the trigger on The Adventures of Ford Fairlane. That's one of my staple movies. And it's got everything you could love in it. Andrew Dice Clay, directed by Rennie Harlan, starring Robert Englund.
boobers. Don't have to have boobs. He's a dirty man. No,
but I mean, he does end up in one sequence at a sorority house. and he's just looking, and we're just going through his POV around a sorority house where, yeah, girls are in like 3/4 half shirts trying to change light bulbs, reaching really high. A lot like pampering of Dice Man in certain scenes where he's just looking at cleavage just surrounding him, and camera's going from his POV to from the other angle, so we just get butts all up in your camera face.
All right.
It's an amazing movie, and I can't wait to one day talk to you
Watch
about
that
it.
with me. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
That'll be a good hour and a half.
Oh, it is a wonderful movie. So good. And I had it signed by I can't think of her name now. She was from Thinner.
Oh, Marissa. No. God damn it. Carrie Wurr.
Yeah, Kari Wurr. She has a role in it where
I about said Marissa Tomei. I'm like, they look a lot alike, but they ain't the same.
yeah, Kari Wurr has a scene where she comes up and talks to Dice Man is walking away in a short dress, and Morris Day from Morris Day and the Time goes, "You got the shave before you leave a house in a dress like that, and I don't mean your legs."
What's the password, Onion Head?
Orgy.
That was a Purple Rain reference, deep cut.
All right, Rondell Del Branch on January 19, 2023, 1 star, nothing like the original. We had to turn this one off. This is not a family movie anymore.
What?
Language was filth, and even the kids had horrible, inappropriate language. I recall none of this.
Damn, maybe?
Yeah,
That's
is there
Ninja Turtles 90.
is there-
Damn!
yeah, is this shit that would pass on Monday Night Raw in the late 90s? Ass, damn, and hell.
Oh, the hell with him.
Yeah, hell damn fart.
Yeah, those are...
Burning it. Yeah, there is a hell. We have Spangler being told to burn in hell.
That's very... Yeah, I think you can even get away with bitch on network TV. So, like...
You can get away with it like once. It's like
Yeah.
it's like the TV version of fuck. You can say it one
Right.
time and still be PG-13.
Yeah, so... But, you know, I cuss like a sailor, and I've been trying to work on that. People listening probably like, no, you cuss every time you open your mouth. So I'm trying. I'm failing, but I'm trying. It doesn't seem egregious in its amount of bad language.
No,
to me,
it
for
would
sure.
easily pass if Paul Rudd's character was showing his own movie in the classroom as opposed to child's play. There would be no complaints. There would probably not even be a need for permission slips to be signed. Like, we're going to show Ghostbusters Afterlife. Is that cool?
Dude, you have to have a cool science teacher to show you Ghostbusters Afterlife. That's what's up.
But you got to have a rogue one to be like child's play, Cujo. We're just running through the lineup.
Maximum overdrive, baby.
It makes you think
Shop
of
class.
It makes me think of another sequence that happened in a movie called Bad Teacher with Cameron Diaz,
Oh, yeah.
where she starts off showing like Dead Poet Society, and then towards the end, they just smash cut to it's Henry Winkler getting stabbed and scream.
Nice. It's been a hot minute since I've seen that. I own it on Blu-ray.
Yeah, I own it in a variety pack. It's a good one. All right, Tong Xiong.
Oh,
I'm not gonna do the accent.
oh. You know, China and Japan are different countries.
Japanese, not Chinese. The same difference. February 8, 2022, 1 star, pushing a woke agenda. It gets annoying that all these colors have to be in the movie.
What?
It gets annoying that all colors have to be in the movie. Coming
Coloreds?
from a person of color. Really, I wouldn't have guessed with a name like Tong Xiong. There was also an anti-gun message in it that guns fell down while the main girl threatens a color sheriff with the ghost gun having a temper.
Okay,
2 people found this helpful, by the way.
Okay. I'm trying to unpack this just a little. Like,
Do you want me to start?
is it?
It gets
I just
annoying.
wanna- I just want to.
It gets
wanna
annoying
ask you-
that all colors have to be in this movie. So Tong is pissed because he feels the movie had to check the list of All right, we got blacks, Asians. Are there any Hispanics in this movie? None come to mind. So are we missing Hispanics? We have everyone else.
Yeah, I guess.
Coming from a person of color, there was also an anti-gun message in it where when the guns fell down, while the main girl threatens the color sheriff with the ghost gun having a temper. This is like when they're trying to take the stuff back, and she's
I just want to know.
She's just like Riggs in that moment more than I don't think that's she's like, I don't like these colored sheriffs. I think it's just she's got a taste of the action, so she's like Riggs. Like, where do you get off saying that?
Yeah. Gun happy. I just want to know if it's as offensive to refer to people as colors or colored. Is it that's offensive more so than being offended that they're in the movie? I don't know what I'm trying to say, but I'm like,
I don't.
Can you say that like you're you're being racist?
I don't think there's any way to say colored anything and not come off like an asshole.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, did she say colored? Cause what the fuck? Or he or they, them, their?
Tong Jiang, person of color, Tong Jiang. Tong Jiang doesn't like all colors.
I'm Asian. I can't be racist. That's not how this works.
Asian rednecks, I'm sure, are out there. Just like that Tom Segura thing of like Spanish or Asian people over in Mexico. They speak Spanish too. You don't expect it, but it does fuck you up a little bit.
Japanese? Segura.
Sounds Japanese. That's because you're saying a Japanese. But,
yeah. Smith.
Yeah, it could be Smith and it still sound Japanese. You say it like that. All right. Something that we can all sympathize with. JC, Jesus Christ, who knows? May 28, 2022, 1 star. Love Paul Rudd.
Yeah, baby.
I am an original lover of the first Ghostbusters. I enjoy Mr. Rudd, but this movie fell way short. No comparisons to the original. I can't get my time back for this one.
Well, at least he likes Paul Rudd.
Yeah, JC, like everyone else in the history of ever, has been like, Paul Rudd, good guy. Movie, I don't like it.
I just think it's a different climate. You know, I mean, we talked about that before with the 2016. Like, 84 it had a lot of that, like, subtle comedy. It's got some raunch in it, but it's not on the forefront. 2016, we're, leaning really heavy into the SNL cast. It's a different type of comedy.
I feel like it's a slight
pushing the 3D aspect.
Melissa McCarthy was just everywhere then, and it's like they're doing that with Paul Rudd, but people don't seem to mind it as much.
Yeah, and this is just the Stranger Things is making noise movie. Stranger Things is the hot thing.
Is it still by 2021? I feel like it's...
I feel like so, because is that... Well, you probably don't know. I also don't know. But, like, the Vecna season, where it was, like, a straight-up 80s horror movie. They did a whole season with Vecna, and he's kind of like Freddy Krueger. Like, he gets into your dreams and all this stuff, and he's badass.
Part of the few things I know is, like, what is Stranger Things? I'm like, D&D, 80s, shaved head, Robert Englund villain... Master of Puppets. That's all I got.
Pretty much. Trans Ams.
I wouldn't even do that, but like Master of
Kids
Puppets.
on bikes.
The Hellfire Club shirt. That's all I got.
E.T.
E.T. M. Clark.
Yeah.
February 27, 2022. 1 star. This movie did not play. We tried to watch this movie many times, but movie would kick us out of the app every time. We got to only see the Columbia logo and then the beginning of Braun. And we got kicked out many times.
Pay your bill, dog.
This dude is just pissed.
Or plug in your router. I don't know. Check that connection.
We tried unplugging it and plugging it back in.
It usually works.
It does.
It's a weird thing.
Jeanette, February 24, 2023, 1 star, not thrilled. Never G hot tea to see it.
Nice.
That I don't know how someone found a way to make Zhang's 1 star make more sense, but I don't know how to interpret what Jeanette is trying to tell us.
Gyat. That means a butt, I think. Gyat.
Well,
I think that's a new
never
slang.
space the letter G space hot space T letter T space T-O 2 space C space it.
Shorthand.
Never get hot to see it.
Even shorthand, they have a stutter.
I never get to see it. Today, Jeanette.
Where she is. But I do.
I get run over by a car.
Well, Halloween 5 reference.
Bobby, on Valentine's Day 2023, 1 star. Friends liked it. I was disappointed.
First of all, whenever you just say the name Bobby, all I can picture is Ernest Goes to Jail.
Hey, Bobby. Hey, Bobby. Hey, Bobby. On Valentine's Day 2023, 1 star. Friends liked it. I was disappointed. And no, I didn't say that wrong.
Need a t-shirt.
That's how it said. Disappointed.
Need a t-shirt that's just a black shirt with the word disappointed with an exclamation point.
And a picture of Bobby from either Ernest or King of the Hill.
With the gun.
Yeah. Go ahead. I'm disappointed. The original was silly and fun. This was neither.
I disagree. Big time.
Big time. Carrie Davies on the 28th of February 2023. 1 star. Boring movie. Very boring. Couldn't even finish it.
That's also not fair. I don't think that's a fair assessment of this movie. You can call it a lot of things. You can call it a cash grab if you wanted to, and I would probably be like, okay. You can call it nostalgic, okay. But I don't know that I'd ever call it boring. It satisfies.
Yeah, like Snickers, it satisfies.
Yeah, it's fine. It moves along. I'm kind of in the same boat with you where we're like, we may be tiptoeing on too long of a movie.
Yeah, like everything in the last 5 years seems to be 2 hours minimum.
Yeah. Get good 2:15, 2:20, and you're like, I really gotta pee. You know?
Or as like, if I'm home, like, I'm really tempted to either hit the pause to see how much time is left or seeing just, check my phone right quick, any emails or anything. But I get it for the theater, like, yeah, you gotta get your money's worth out of a ticket for something like this.
Right.
Because tickets aren't not getting any cheaper for going out and seeing cinema. So to justify it, I think Tarantino has some blame on this as well, of just his stroke of like, I'm just gonna make me a 2.5 hour movie, and then once 2.5 hours kind of became the standard, like, fuck you, I'm gonna make a 3 hour movie.
Yeah, but that's okay. When it's like super engaging. The most recent problem movie-wise that I've had that's been a bloated movie, and it won 1 billion awards, so I don't know, Oppenheimer, I was like, okay, man, like, this feels like a 5-hour movie. Especially since it's a lot of science talk
It's an
and
epic.
math talk.
Epic
Yeah,
cinema.
I like epics, but it has to be epic. Giving me a fucking 1 atomic bomb explosion isn't enough for me to go, I love the way they dress and the way they talk, all talk. Like, I don't know. I can't buckle down and get invested.
It's tough. It's tough. So our last 1 star review, you always know where this is going to places, from Justin in Trisha.
Oh, joint account, baby.
Yeah, nothing quite says stable relationship like a joint Amazon account. August 26, 2022, 1 star. Her title is just 2 exclamation points. So I feel like that's what you could title that hit song from Pootie Tang, just
Pootie done did it again, damn it.
Pootie don't need no words, no music. You don't even don't need no nothing. Turn that noise down, damn it. But thank God she goes on to Justin and Trisha go on to tell us, which it's clearly it's Trisha running shit, and Justin's like, whatever you say, Trisha, I'm with you to the end.
Megan.
My husband is obsessed with the Ghostbusters series.
Oh my God.
Feel like she's already like this fucking guy and his goddamn Ghostbusters.
Ghost dork.
This movie, however, he didn't like it at all.
So I had to write a review for him.
Yeah, too shy to do it. Himself had to write my own 1-star review for him because he didn't like it.
That's
That's
it? That's the end of the review?
I'm sure, and the relationship as well. I'm sure both those things are toast by 2024.
My husband didn't like it.
Justin now owns the Platinum Series edition of it with the poster and everything. He's like, Trisha really is the one that didn't like it, but because she didn't like it, we had to write that we didn't like it, and she wrote that I didn't like it. I love Paul Rudd. That's probably the other 1-star review, the dude that wrote the Paul Rudd thing. That's probably Justin's like incognito Amazon account, because they have that joint account because somebody's fucking around on another account, so he has his burner account where he's writing other 1-stars for Ghostbusters.
Just with prepaid like MasterCards.
Yeah, and those phones you can just throw away after you bought a month's worth of minutes on it.
Yep. He's plotting to kill her. That's what it is. He's buying all his material on his burner account. Well, that's a pretty good Amazon 1-star review to end on, because now I'm going to be checking all my true crime channels to see
Like,
this saga has an ending.
Justin and Trisha, they were a happy couple until they weren't.
Yeah, cue the current affair noise.
Yeah. I was going to say the lightning strike and the color inverts.
Of course. Yeah.
Into the negative.
Yeah, you got to have that. It's like a VH1 behind the music.
How would what's it, your forensic files? How would that episode start with? This case was solved with a burner phone, Paul Rudd.
Yeah, digital footprint.
Yeah. A copy of Ghostbusters, Paul Rudd, and an Amazon account. Brought down.
Boom, 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 boom. Oh, I love the Forensic Files theme music. But now that we're done with the Amazon 1-star reviews, Evil, what does that mean?
It's time to play the game.
It's time to play the game. The clock game.
It's all about the game and how you play it. Would you like to be my lab partner?
Yes, I would. Oh my God. That's podcast. That was podcast.
Podcast
Correct.
or Spangler girl. Can't think of her name.
I think podcast asks her to be the lab partner. But that's right. It's time to play the game. And if you're new here, welcome. But you're probably scratching your head asking yourself, what the fuck's the game? Well, the game is a deep cut in and of itself, where you got to pick a prop from the movie that we are covering, but it can't be a well-known prop. So, since we're covering Ghostbusters Afterlife, we're just going to throw the same shit back on the table. No Ecto-1, no ghost traps, no proton pack, no jumpsuit. Leave it alone. That's low-hanging fruit, and it's BS. So pick something weird, strange, off the beaten track. Let us know on the comments on the podcast. Let us know on Patreon, Discord, TikTok, YouTube, wherever you find us, because we want to know. That being said, Evil, I'm going to go first.
Please.
Because I think 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago or whenever we last recorded, you may have brought this up.
I believe so.
So I'm going to go ahead and harness my prop. Maybe you won't be picking it, but we'll see. I think I just want one of the animatronic hellhounds that's in Walmart.
That's big.
Yes, absolutely. It's not a dead dog prop, but I imagine getting in it like Ace Ventura in When Nature Calls with that rhino and just, writhing around in a bunch of bags of dog food. It's a good one.
Yeah, it probably costs about the same as. Didn't Spirit Halloween try selling some of those? Like,
I think so.
but they were like several hundred, $800 something for. It may have just been like the top half of one, like it's coming out of a doghouse kind of thing.
Yeah, I'd buy an inflatable one with like the lights in it. You know, I'd buy one that's like a 5 foot tall inflatable one that's kind of cartoony for sure.
Maybe we could. I guess I got a buddy that's got a real nice 3D printer. Like, can you 3D print me one of the Keymaster,
Whole
the
dog?
Gatekeeper? Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the Johnny Cash song where he talks about building that car one part at a time. Just have your buddy just print out one tooth at it. Like,
Yeah.
this way I don't cost you $1 billion in monofilament or whatever the fuck that shit's called. Just,
Yeah, it's gonna cost me probably 3 years of time.
yeah,
by 2028, I'm gonna have me a full blown Keymaster dog.
yeah. One week goes by, he brings you like a horn.
Like, ooh,
Here you go.
it's a big piece day.
Yeah. Oh, that's fucking awesome. So I didn't know if you were gonna pick that because I know we talked about the Hell Dogs when we talked about 84 Ghostbusters, and you said they look really good in Afterlife,
Yeah.
but yeah. And so I was like, I don't know if he's gonna pick that, but it was
No,
mine.
I'm gonna take the thing that while you were visiting a couple weeks back, I got to actually try finally, and you already have one, so you don't need one. So it's time I finally get my own Aztec death whistle, and I'm gonna take that one.
Yes.
So I can terrify new neighbors that move in across the street. Hiding in
Glorious.
bushes, screaming in through this thing. If you've never heard of an Aztec death whistle, look it up. Put some headphones on, because you will definitely alert people around you if they don't know what you're watching. It sounds like a horrific murder. It sounds like Justin has finally snapped on Trisha, and this is we've caught it on audio.
Only this.
Yeah. This is double pane soundproof glass. There's no way that Aztec death whistle could make that noise with that door shut. The noise you heard came from inside this apartment, blowing into this whistle, and the murderer closed the door before he left.
Ace Ventura Pet Detective reference. Deep cut. Yeah, they are fucking awesome, and I will forewarn anyone listening, because I know we did it. I blew it one time on the live stream on the 3B YouTube channel. Once you have one of these things, the compulsion to blow it and disrupt the
Society.
sanity of your disrupt the sanity of your neighborhood it's like finding out you have a superpower. Like, every time someone's being loud outside, I literally threaten it. I'm like, I'm gonna blow that fucking whistle, and my wife will be like, do not. And if it persists, I do.
Oh, I go to work at 3 a.m. on my 9 to 5 gig, and nothing I want to do more than blow that shit out the side of my window on the drive to work at 3 a.m. Get to the parking lot at work and just let it rip, and just see if anything happens.
Could you somehow, some way, look at this is incriminating. Look at personnel files and figure out where your mean ex-boss lives, so that we could perhaps cruise by their house in the wee hours of the night and terrify them?
Oh, it's entirely plausible, and that she has dogs, so you can only imagine where that's gonna take things.
It would literally ruin the entire neighborhood.
Yeah,
I love it.
And it doesn't
like-
take much of blowing power to make a noise either.
No, it's like in the fog when at midnight when all the alarms and everything goes off.
Yeah, it is
Whole
startling.
town went crazy.
It is a blood-curdling, startling sound.
I love it.
Yeah, so I need my own copy of it. It's just bonus points of it. This came from the set of Afterlife. They're heavy too.
Yeah, I can't-
That's the other pre-warning. They are heavy, and they feel like they're made out of like clay. Mm-hmm. So
They are dense. You could kill someone with it, I think.
oh yeah, yeah. You can hit someone with it. They'll make the sound you make blowing through it.
Except wetter, because a lot of gurgling.
Yeah. It'll break off parts, I'm sure.
Oh, God damn it. I should have known you were going to pick that. That completely bypassed my brain that you were going to pick that. So.
Oh, I thought that's what you were talking about. Like, because we were talking about, like, what movie was this in just recently that I happened to see someone with an Aztec death whistle? Oh, it was the movie we were supposed to be recording about. That's what I'm taking. That's what I'm taking.
You may just end up with an Aztec death whistle just showing up at your domicile.
That's because your wife is tired of you having it. She just mails it here without you knowing about it. Like, I don't know what happened to that thing, dear.
I'll just sneak you one. So then you can terrify your wife and your kids with it.
We had a graduation.
They don't know you have
we had a graduation this past week. I told my youngest, like, you think I could bring that thing here and just blow it? And she's like, no.
Oh my God.
Do not take that to a graduation.
But everyone's throwing their shit and you're just like,
Exactly. Or when they just some people's names, like, because they're like, don't be applauding when we say everyone's names, but just random people's names, just blow that shit. Just good people have a story the rest of their lives. We're like, remember when your name was called at graduation and somebody screamed like they were getting murdered? Who was that? Who do you think that was?
Old Man Willoughby from the amusement park.
Those sniveling kids wouldn't let me get away with it. Memories that could be created right there.
Yes, yeah, forever.
And
it
ever.
will last forever. I suppose, on that note, Evil, we should probably get going because, after all, there's a lot of movies out there and somebody's got to watch them. So why not us, right?
This isn't a farm. It's a trap.
If it's something strange in the neighborhood, who you gonna call? Ghostbusters. If there's something weird and it don't look good, who you gonna call? There's a new episode every 2 weeks. Fun. You can find it on Spotify and all major podcast apps. Don't forget to let us know your topic. Every 2 weeks there's a new episode, so rate us and subscribe to the Deep Cut Podcast. There's a new episode every 2 weeks. Fun. Yeah, you can find it on Spotify and all major podcast apps. Don't forget to let us know your topic. Every 2 weeks there's a new episode, so rate us and subscribe to the Deep Cut Pod, to the Deep Cut Pod. There's a new episode, so rate us and subscribe to the Deep Cut Pie. To the Deep Cut Podcast. To the Deep Cut Pod. To the Deep Cut Pod. Podcast. To the Deep Cut Pod. Podcast. To the Deep Cut Podcast. To the Deep Cut Podcast. Every 2 weeks there's a new episode, so rate us and subscribe to the Deep Cut Podcast. To the Deep Cut Podcast.